Ann from the Useless Crafter. So today I'm going to show you how to do this project. Basically, we're just applying vinyl to these cute little boxes. I wasn't even going to do a tutorial, but I made so many mistakes that I thought you guys would learn from it, so I stopped so that you can see the rest of it. So first thing is, when you're personalizing something, obviously you should measure to see how big your name can be, right? So when I measured this, I know that there's an indent in the lid. So I went from the indent to the indent, and it was like 3 and 3.75. So I was thinking in my head, oh, I'll do 3.5. I didn't realize that there was another indent right here. So you never want your vinyl to be right to the edge, because that's when it picks up on things or it catches on stuff, and so then you end up losing that letter, or people want to peel at it, whatever. So I didn't realize till I was finished cutting. So it turns out that really from indent to indent was 3.5, and of course I made my names to 3.5. So I wanted to show you how I was going to go about doing it, how to fix it. This only works right now because it is print, right? So the letters aren't connected. So I was able to like move the letters still. So I wanted to show you that. The other trick that I want to show you before we do this, and I left 2 of them to still weed, is that when you're doing a bunch of names, then what you want to do is you want to cut them up before you weed it, because what will happen is sometimes certain letters don't cut perfectly. So if you're doing 20, in this case 23 names at one time, it's really hard to pull it and have the whole sheet and trying to attach it and not have it crumpled up and whatever. It is much, either way you're going to have to cut out the letters or the names, because you're going to transfer it one name at a time. So instead of waiting until after you weed it, definitely cut out the names before you weed. That will save you a lot of effort and just headaches. All right, so let me just weed really quickly. This is just regular vinyl from Cricut. Here we go. And I believe the reason why I got this was because it was so much on sale. Oh, did you see how that, oh, it's kind of hard to see right now, I think, because of the way the letters, but I'm kind of like poking down. It cut well, but it didn't pull up automatically. So some of the letters, like, I need to push down to keep it down. Anyway, so here it is. So that was much easier than if it was connected to 22 other names. All right, so here's the first name. I'm going to do one more weeding so that you can see it. Let's see. Okay. So when I'm weeding, I want to pull the piece back, all the way back on itself, because that helps it not compete with keeping it down. So there. Okay. So that was easy. Then what you want to do is, when you're doing a big project like this, I would sort of put it in an assembly line, just so that it's much faster for you. So I did 8 at a time. First thing is, you do want to wipe this down with rubbing alcohol. So I'm just going to grab this. So I do that first, and even when my hands are clean, it just gets a little oily here and there. So you just want to wipe down your surface. So like I was saying, I measured the letters, the vinyl, to be 3.5 inches, so it would be right to the edge of the piece. So what I'm going to do instead is, some of these are okay, because the short names, I didn't go all the way to that, so I will show you how to do that. So let me move this up a little bit. Okay, so here's the name. This is a well-used transfer sheet, and that's fine. So you just want to burnish it really well so it sticks onto the transfer sheet. Then pull back like this. Okay, so that was easy, right? And then when you're looking at this, a lot of times you will have some sort of visual cue as to where the halfway mark is. But in this case, I always have my mat out. So if you line this up, you can kind of see where that is too. when you lay this down, because they're single letters, it's a lot easier, but I always do one letter at a time, and then, I mean, they're both here, but I'm gonna do one and then I push down on the other. The other thing that I've noticed with vinyl projects is afterwards, I let this cure by itself. I don't touch it, and I just let it be for like 2 days. So that way it really, really sticks well and you don't have any problems. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, let's do one where I messed up on the, excuse me. So this is Evelyn. I know it's kind of hard to read on the video, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this Y up a little bit, and just by moving the Y, I think that's going to give me enough space for everything else. So I'm going to do the first half of Evelyn's name going to the L. Okay. So I'm going to go as far as I can to the edge right here, but without it being on the edge. Then I'm just going to do the Y because I only have 2 letters left. I think it'll be fine, but I'm going to do the Y first. And I'm going to move it up a little bit because I have space right here, and move it over. And that's the other great thing about certain fonts, is that they're not meant to be straight. So that gives you a lot of room to play with your spacing. All right, so here's my N. So this would have gone directly onto the line, but you can see I have room now. So I actually have a lot of room. I probably should have moved the E in even more. But now the name fits perfectly, and I know it's not going to catch on anything. I'm going to move it to the side. Let's do another one where I have to do that. So this is Victor. There's a lot of space when you're looking at this. There's a lot of space at the V. I can move the I over a little bit, and the O as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the V first, and then do the next 2 letters. And when you're applying, I mean, the nice thing about single letters is that it's very unlikely to get bubbles. So it's when they're all connected and it's huge. So just pick your images so that you don't get stuck like that. All right, so this one I'm going to move the I over a little bit. And then I'm going to do the T, and then I'll do the OR together. So this is definitely a pain in the butt, but I cut out a whole thing of vinyl that I didn't want to waste and recut and resize. So sometimes you got to do that. So I wanted to share how I fixed this issue. So the O and the R is going to be kind of spaced far, but there's so much room at this point. So maybe I'll do the O, and then I'll do the R not quite as far. And there you have it, Victor. Okay. So let's see, Sarah and Eva should be fine. Okay, Olivia and Deegan I might have an issue with. So on this one, I think I'm going to do the OL for Olivia, and then I'm going to move the I to be on top of, like, you know, the L comes out like this. I'm going to put the I in on top of that ledge of the L, and that should buy us all the room that we need. Okay, so here's the O and the L. And then I'm going to do the whole thing because I think that will give us enough space. And we'll know, because when I lay this down, if it's not right, then I'm not going to put it down completely. So I'm going to put the I over here. Yep, it'll give us enough space. And there you go. All right, so you can watch me do a few more. I'll talk you through a couple of things while we do this. So if you have any special requests on what you want to learn, please let me know here. And if you have like a specific file that you want me to do the tutorial, then you can go ahead and send that to Ann, A-N, at theuselesscrafter.com. And then any feedback, comments, questions, please just post it here. I'm also really good at responding. So here's Sarah. I'm just going to put this one down because I know it's not going from edge to edge. This tool is amazing. You need to have this. I know at first I thought, well, I can just use my credit card. And the credit card is fine when you're in a pinch, like when this is just gone and I can't buy another one right away. But it's just so much sturdier than your credit card. So it's just easier to use. All right, we have 2 more names left. This one, I need to weed out the inside of the E and the G. So I think on this one, let's see. Yeah, it goes from end to end. I think if I move in the D, like, so I'm just gonna do the D first. And then I think if we move, I'm going to do the 2 E's together and then move the G in a little bit. And then I'll do the G by itself and then the A-N I'll move in. So you can actually do it like this. I'm going to do the G first. I'm going to transfer the G over. And then using the same transfer sheet while the G is on here, I'm going to move it closer and then pick up the A and the N. And again, if it doesn't fit, I just won't put the end of the name down and I'll move it over some more. Oops, I forgot to weed out this little guy. Okay. Yep, and that's enough room. There you have that. And you can see in the video the lines right there that I thought was just, I don't know what I was thinking. I was trying to go so fast. And those mistakes happen all the time. So I thought it would be helpful for you guys to see this. All right, last one. And that's it. So you saw, I mean, obviously I didn't do all 23 while you were watching, but you could see how quickly it goes once you've set everything up. So it's definitely nice to clear out your space, set up a little bit of an assembly line and do, you know, like in this case, eight boxes at one time. All right, thanks guys. Bye.